Aloha, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Prince John Internet TV. If you are my spiritual brother or sister, that makes you somebody I would call a prince or a princess. Even if people actually believe in the light work that I do and they do it, and they have the same religious standards and dietary standards than I do, then I still wouldn't consider them a brother or sister unless we actually met together. Like, there may be many people in the world that adopt my philosophy, kind of like there are many people in the world who have this Christian philosophy. But I still believe that I won't call all of them brothers and sisters, but only a select few that I actually meet up with on a weekly basis who are like my real physical family. I'm really intent upon protecting myself and being defensive so that I don't get into a cycle of you can call it gossip, or where you're trying to control others and talk to other people, even with the intent that you think you can make their life better or help them out, when in fact only they can speak over themselves with their words and program their mind, and in other words, don't be somebody else's pastor. That's what I'm suggesting. I mean, think about it like this. If I do the light work and I talk to other people, then talking to other people that don't agree with the light work, like, I believe religion is supposed to be like the foundation of life. And so that's my religious practice, the light work. So if I'm going to try and give somebody else advice on, well, maybe you should not talk to that woman and, be more careful, then, isn't the most important thing the light work? And so for me, like for Christians, the most important thing might be praying. So just a few thoughts. I had another thought about my future wife. I think that the house is going to be hers. It's going to be where she makes the rules in the house and she chooses how to decorate it. And she's like the authority in the house, and that way she has a sense of, balance, even though, I might be the authority outside the house as far as making an income, and when we're out, I'll be the one who talks and not her so much. But when in the house, I think she should be the one who talks, and she should, if I have concerns, I can write them down, but not be the authority and talk. And so in order to make that possible, before getting married, I'm going to have to make sure that her and I have similar, beliefs and are about child raising and diet and so on and so forth, so that there really wouldn't be that much room for conflict. Okay, what else? I think one goal that should be to try to find things you don't like about a potential mate. Look at their Facebook profile or email them, and don't talk to them in person, because if you do, you might end up seducing each other. You know how I used to think elders had an authority, or a parent or grandmother figure. Now that I'm financially independent, I believe I can decide what are these people to me now. Are they guardians of mine? Are they people who help to feed me and house me, or can they be potential spiritual brothers or sisters, or not? Also, a study was done in which people who are healthy need less sleep, and I like to run at night. I go for like a run out and then stretch 30 minutes out and back, and it gives me more willpower. And I'm going to be the one to decide, where we live, and since I'm going to be the provider, I'm the one who decides, and I have to find a woman who agrees with that instead of it used to be where I thought I should try to figure out what a particular woman wants, like, or maybe that woman wants to, you know, drive this wants a certain type of car. Well, no, I have to make it what type of car I want to drive, and then my woman, a woman that's naturally interested in me will be attracted to me. So I have to set the standard of living, not her, or not the provider. The provider, rather, yeah, has to set the standard of living. Mm, what else? Basically, don't buy unnecessary things. Just reserve as much time as possible for bedroom time. Okay, what else? There's a propensity to think that there'll be like a quick and dramatic change. That's kind of a Christian perspective where Jesus will come and redefine and change the world. But I believe that rather change is a calculated and gradual. Take steps every day, step by step. And I have to remember to want to hang out with people for their beliefs, not because I think they look good, or they're entertaining, or rich, or because I'm trying to make them feel better. It's almost like I'm trying to control them by imposing my fundamental beliefs on them. Because a fundamental belief is something like, that usually comes up only in extreme situations, like, if a person's sick, then you'll start talking about, you know, um, what you think of the afterlife and so on and so forth. And then you'll start referencing religious concepts, when there's something bad going on. But why don't we, instead of having to have the traumatic accident occur, why don't we take control of our lives while things are good and make them even better instead of having to wait for an accident or re-experience some of the negative things humanity's had to go through before actually making a change. So let's be conscious of our history, our historical precedent. Okay, so I've decided to keep doing generous amounts of light work because this is what makes everything else happen. It's not faith, though. It's factual. I smile a lot, and I'm strong and healthy as a result of this light work, and I find many synchronized events. I've been thinking, what's the point of even talking to other people when, you know, about their life problems when I think the answer is the light work. So just tell them about the light work. And I'm not worried about this body failing. If I have to leave it, it's okay. The only reason I'm in this body is so that I can experience the union of me and my wife. So fear of death is kind of gone away. Fear of attachment to physical things like other people. It's only me and her, I believe. So if I want to put my life in full throttle and just live an amazing life, I need to do more light work, not try to figure everything out. I think the light work makes it easy to make choices and synchronizes people and places, so I don't need to worry about what to do and where to work and who to talk to, etc. If I leave this body, I don't feel sad that John is gone, because you can recapture the energy of John in the words and spirit and apply it to your life. And of course, use John's most important discovery of me, being the pure light that I am, and do light work. Alright, so I visualize people smiling and holding spheres of white light, and even if I see someone not smiling, it feels just as good as if they were when I imagine that they are. That is how I control and create my reality. Feeling nervous about planting a garden? Dig 3 to 5 neat 5 by 10 foot plots and border them to prevent weeds from entering. Dig rows, and in the depressions next to the rows, scatter lettuce seeds, 15 seeds a foot, and plant basil and kale as well. How about squash and tomatoes and cucumber? Water them generously every evening. Cook beans and rice and other simple foods, and eat with fresh vegetables like cabbage and celery, and wake up early and work. And surprisingly, it feels good. Uh, let's see. Instead of calling myself Hawaiian or American, um, or of a particular faith that represents more than one person, I only represent myself. And instead of trying to become a celebrity and impress many people at once, I try to just focus on making impressions on individuals. For instance, sometimes I feel like if I make fun of a person such as a pastor for being homophobic, because I'm trying to get attention and look like the good guy or that I am right, I'm in fact ruining my reputation with that pastor, when it might be possible for me to have at least a good professional and socially courteous reputation with this pastor. I'm finally happy being me. Thank God I am the unified field of light, and not the jealous Christian God I once thought I was. And here's a note you can send to people. It will help to ease tensions when people start to question, well, why don't you hang out with me anymore? Write to them, I realize you might be thinking about me. Even though I believe you are usually a friendly person, I the reason I don't associate with you anymore is, with the exception of the occasional greeting, is because our lifestyle differences regarding diet and relationship standards, etc., are different. And I would rather communicate my thoughts than just ignore you. And do you have any feedback for me? And thanks for being here with me today.